Well, you know what it is. You know who it is. What's up? What's up, family? It's your main man, 100 grand, your brother from another mother. I'm Dr. Eddie, and you know I need big energy. Come on, drop some fire emojis in the chat. If you're happy and you know it, clap your emoji hands. Come on, come on. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Sure, truly, Dr. Eddie, and you are in the mix. And not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but at six. And we do this each and every single weekday, Monday through Friday. You know I'm coming to you. You know I'm with you. Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every single day, Monday through Friday. And, I'm just here to give you a in the mix fix. Is that all right? Just here to give you in the mix fix. That's what it is. Need you to let me know where you're watching from. Come on. Let me know where you're watching from. Drop your city in the chat. As a matter of fact, you're watching, of course, on the digital airwaves of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop all the way over to the YouTube side. Come on, like, comment, share, subscribe. That's right. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Join us on the YouTube side. Yeah, I want you to make sure that you do that. Join us on the YouTube side. Put me on the screen too. Yeah, put me on the screen. Yeah, on your TV screen. That's what's up. Do that. As you're tuning in, you know your timeline could be someone's lifeline. I need you to make sure that you share. Since you're here because you care, I need you to share. That's right. Share it on your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Twitter. Help a brother out. Let's get the message out. I like that. Help a brother out. Let's get the message out. Come on. It's all about the empowerment. It's all about the inspiration. Timeline could be someone's lifeline. Share because you care. I need you to share. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear brothers and sisters, you know my goal is to empower you to reach yours. My desire is to inspire. My assignment is to put you in alignment with your purpose. My job is to empower you to identify your identity. And as a result of it, I need you to make sure that you become a member of my Eagles Academy community. That's right. Yeah, you want to become a member of the Eagles Academy. It's where I coach, it's where I teach, it's where I train, it's where I mentor. It's where I empower you to access your particular identity. It's where I show you how to grow in success and purpose. Yes, significance. The not just information of what you get, but implementation, the strategy, the structure, the solutions on how to create transformation emotionally, spiritually, relationally, financially, interpersonally, all the way down all of those alleys of life. So I need you to become a member, collaborative community, camaraderie, connection, and then also cohesion and cash flow. That's what's needed and necessary too. Go ahead to theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. Real. Come on. It's easy as ABC 1, 2, 3. Go to theeaglesacademy.com, tap the join now button. It's going to give you a form. Fill out the form, be transformed. We're in the mix at 6. I need you to share this with at least 6 people. Come on, tag, tweet, tell, text, let somebody know that we are in the mix at 6. Share this with somebody. Y'all keep showing love. I'm going to keep showing up. If you're ready to go, if you're ready to grow, just type let's go. Yeah, let's just type let's go. Let's jump all the way in to the deep end. Ready to go, type let's go. And that's what we're going to do. Simply because today is rather unique. Today is rather unique. Yeah, it is. Look at your calendar. No, seriously. Go ahead. Look at your calendar. Today is the only day in 2024 that tells you to do something. That's right. On your mark, get set. Let's go. That's right. It's March the 4th. Yeah, today's the only day in 2024 that tells you to do something, and that is March 4th on March 4th. That's what I'm going to talk about today. That's what I want to talk about. Listen, marching into purpose is always going to sound like a trap if you don't know who you are. And hear me, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what you want to do, if you're confused about what you're called to do, we got to get clarity on it. Somebody just type March 4th. Come on, type March 4th. That's what I intend for you to do today. Giving you clarity, conscientious direction. Gonna show you how to take decisive steps in the direction of your dreams. That's what we're gonna do. Come on, type March 4th. March 4th. Marching always gonna sound like a trap. If you don't know where you're going, who you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to do, who you're supposed to become, what you're supposed to overcome. I'm gonna give you 3 methods to march into your purpose. Let's deal with March Madness. And here's the thing. You've had enough madness in March. And sometimes not just relegated to this particular month of March. You've had enough madness in March. Let me show you how to have some March gladness, not some March madness. I want to share with you 3 things that prevent you from marching in purpose. If you're ready, type ready. Come on. If you're ready, type ready. Yeah. It's the growth community. Let's go. Let's grow. If you're ready, type ready. Number 1, here it is. I see you. I see you. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's the number 1 thing. Comparison is the thief of joy. Somebody write that. Number 1, comparison is the thief of joy. Scripture declares this: when you compare yourselves with others, in so doing, you are not wise. Too many times we're trying to compare our chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 30. Too many times we're trying to connect ourselves to somebody. In many cases, oftentimes we're hating on who we should be learning from. We're moving in a place of comparison when we need to be moving from a place of not comparison, but inspiration. Because here's what comparison does. Comparison leads to intimidation. You're always going to find somebody who has what you don't have. And if you're solely focused on what they have and what you're deficient of, now you steal from you. Now you cheat the world of you by not allowing yourself to give yourself the opportunity to inspire other people to move their life to the next level. You cheat the world of you by not delivering on who it is that you are simply because you're trying to be who they are. Or you're trying to compare yourself to what other people are doing that you're not doing, when in many cases you need to focus on your own lane. Focus on what it is that you were created to do. Focus on what it is that you were called to do. Why? Because nobody can beat you being you. Everybody's taken. You might as well be yourself. Not comparison, but inspiration. Comparison leads to intimidation. And here's what: inspiration ought to move to the place to where it breeds admiration. You're trying to be like somebody else, but here's the thing: somebody sitting on the sidelines trying to be like you. They're inspired by you, but you're trying to compare to what they're doing. And so, as you're comparing to what they're doing, you never become you. And now you cheat the world of us. Yeah, cheat the world of you simply because you can't provide us what it is that we need. You can't move forward in March. You can't forward march in March if you allow comparison to rob you of your identity. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way that you're wired, the way that you think. Your particular vibe attracts your particular tribe. Hmm? I need you to be you so I can be me. Being you is good enough. Somebody just type I'm good enough. Come on, somebody just type that. Type I'm good enough. I'm talking about things that rob you of the opportunity to march forth on March 4th and beyond. Can't forward march in March if you allow comparison to rob you of your identity, because comparison, here it is, comparison leads to identity theft. Yeah, what do I mean? It robs you, it steals your strength, it robs you of your revelation. It takes truth from you to distort your identity and the truth about you. And here's what it does: it relegates you to not an identity, it relegates you to a lie identity. Right. That's it. A lie identity. A lie identity is what causes you to have limited beliefs. A lie identity moves you into a place to where now you have to try to become them because you're afraid to be you. A lie identity is the stinking thing. And a lie identity is you talking yourself out of the purpose of what it is that God has orchestrated, created, assigned, designed, ordained for you to walk into. Hmm? Sometimes we have a lie identity simply because we believe the lie of what people said about us to us. We believe the lie that nobody in your family is ever going to be this. Nobody was ever going to amount to this. You were never going to be good enough for that. When I discover the truth about who it is that I am, I don't need to focus on what it is that everybody else is doing. Why? Because I'm in a lane all of myself. And here's the thing: when you don't focus on your own lane, you always try to go into other people's lane and you end up crashing. Simply because you're driven by comparison rather than being driven by your own clarity, rather than being driven by your own identity. A lie identity is always going to make you crash because a lie identity is going to put you in somebody else's lane that you don't have no other business being in. When you get a revelation of who you are, hear me, you can't remain the way you are. God is trying to reveal you to you about you. And he reveals himself to you first. And when he reveals himself to you, now he allows you to see in you what he placed in you. But here's what we're doing: we got a revelation of everybody else to where now you see what everybody else is good at. You see what everybody else's purpose is. You see what everybody else has been created to do. But you never get a picture of you. Hmm? You never get a picture of you because you're always out of the frame. You're always in everybody else's frame of mind. You're in everybody else's frame of reference. Put yourself back in the frame. Come on, come on. Adjust the frame of your thinking. Adjust the frame of your mindset. Adjust the frame of your vision. Adjust the frame of your focus. Adjust the frame. Here it is of your identity. You're too unique to compete. You're too rare to compare. Your royalty demands loyalty. Come on, you got to wear your crown. You got to build your queendom. You got to build your kingdom in the kingdom of God. Your identity, hear me, is not in a person. It's found in your purpose. Why did I say when you get a revelation of who you are, you can't remain the way you are? Simply because when you're not yourself, it's identity theft. Did you hear what I just said? I'm dropping gems. I hope you're picking them up. When you are not yourself, it's identity theft. I'm going to be me. They going to be them. But the world waiting for you to show up. Yeah. I got to get a level of clarity on my particular identity. What was I created to do? What problem or problems was I created to solve? Who am I instructed to encourage? When you're not yourself is identity theft. And here's the thing. Sometimes the biggest thief, robber is not the enemy, it's the inner me. You allow you to rob you of what God wants you to do because you focus on everything that's around you versus everything that's within you. Talk, Eddie. Talk, Dr. Eddie. Greater is he that's with on the outside of me, right? No. Greater is he that's within me. You're going to win from within or you're going to lose from without. Your identity is not in a person. Your identity is found in your purpose. Your purpose and your identity, hear me, is an answer to a problem. Come on. Somebody just type, I'm the answer. Somebody just type, I'm the answer. One of the probably greatest players in the NBA, in NBA history of all time, pound for pound. This guy who was about 5'11", 165 pounds, one and only Allen Iverson. Yeah. I know whenever we hear AI these days, we think of artificial intelligence. No. Real hoop heroes, real folks who know about ball, real folks who know about hooping, understand that AI ain't about artificial intelligence. AI is about Allen Iverson. What was Allen Iverson's nickname? Allen Iverson's nickname was the answer. Yeah. I believe from Virginia, a little rough around the edges, many cases, kind of brought hip hop to hoops, connected the two. Bad boy of basketball, so to speak. Major game. Could have probably played pro on the football field. But he was so great, went to Georgetown, drafted number 1 by the Philadelphia 76ers. Storied career. But he was a problem on the court. But here's the thing. He was a problem to defenders, but he was an answer for his team. Come on. Yeah. You ought to be a problem to the enemy, and you ought to be an answer for the kingdom. Yeah. You ought to solve problems by providing solutions, strategies, being the answer in your particular environment. What answers do you have? What answers can you provide solutions to? Come on, maybe it ain't on the court. Maybe it's in the classroom. Maybe it's not on the court. Maybe it's in the community. Maybe it's not on the court. Maybe it's in the church. Maybe it's not on the court. It's in your camaraderie. Yeah. I got to know my identity to be an answer. Your purpose and your identity, hear me, is an answer to a problem. Because when you know who you are, you solve problems. But when you don't know who you are, you cause problems. When you don't know who you are, you try to be like other people. Yeah. When you don't know who you are, here's what you try to do. You try to fit in when you were born to stand out. And oftentimes you're trying to fit in with people who don't like you anyway. Hello, somebody. What you got to do, you got to take the limitations off of your limiting beliefs to access your unlimited potential. Accessing unlimited potential means I have to move myself into a place to where I have an unlimited mindset, unlimited level of thinking, taking the cap off of my capability. Somebody just type ID. Somebody just type ID. Type ID if you're identifying your identity. Type ID if you're embracing your uniqueness. Type ID if you're walking by faith into greatness. Type ID if you're marching forth on March 4th. Why is that? Because ID means your intelligent design. That's what it's about. And hear me, if you don't evolve, you won't be involved. The hard truth is that we either innovate or we atrophy. Got to be a trendsetter, got to be a disruptor, got to be a creator, got to be a trailblazer, right? Because a trendsetter doesn't follow, a trendsetter sets the trend. They're leading, and whoever is following is always going to be behind the leader. Got to be a trendsetter, got to be a disruptor. You were created to solve problems. You got to be like Uber that puts taxis out of business. You got to be like Airbnb that puts hotels on teetering on going out of business. You got to be like Netflix that put Blockbuster out of business simply because they refused to innovate. As a result, they atrophied. You don't have to add a new spoke to the wheel and recreate the wheel. No, create something different. Do something different. What are you creating? What are you innovating? And in order for me to do that, in order for you to do that, in order for us to do that, here's what we got to do. We got to let go of the self-limited beliefs. We got to stop talking ourselves out of why it won't work or the background that we come from. Nobody in our family ever did this. Just because it ran into your family, it ought to run out now that it runs into you. And here's what it ought to do. It ought to run away from you when it's trying to run into you. Lack's got to run away from you. Bitterness ought to run away from you. Stinking thinking ought to run away from you. Limited beliefs ought to run away from you. Yeah, because here's the thing. We often grapple with the thoughts of, will this book, will this project, will this idea, will this vision be good enough? Will this nonprofit be good enough? Will this blueprint for my business work? Will it be good enough? Why wouldn't it be good enough if it came from you? Can we make it make sense? Hmm? Why wouldn't it be good enough? God gave you the idea. And if it's good enough that he would give you the idea, it's good enough that you could see it to fruition with a solution. Come on. If you feel you're not good enough, then as a consequence, what flows from you will never be good enough for you either. Yeah. What flows from me is a direct result of what flows through me. If you think little of yourself, I guarantee you're going to do little for yourself. If you think much of yourself, you're going to do much for yourself and others as a result. Think little of yourself, you're going to do little for yourself and other people. Think much of yourself, you're going to do much for yourself and other people as a result. What do you think about you? Hmm? See, a lot of us only think much of ourselves when we're going out, but now when we're going within. A lot of us think much of ourselves when, in many cases, now we got clout, now we got clarity, but in many cases, we're trapped within our identity. A lot of us only think much of ourselves when somebody is paying us a compliment. Somebody telling you, oh, I like them shoes. I like that dress. I like that coat. I like that scarf. I like that hat. I like that photo. But can you encourage you when it feels like sometimes the walls are closing in? Can you encourage you when it feels as if the idea is not working out? Can you be your biggest influence on yourself versus influencing other people? Muhammad Ali reminds me of this. Muhammad Ali said this. He said he was the greatest so much until he believed it. Said, I must be the greatest. I shook up the world. And here's the thing. Muhammad Ali was saying that he was the greatest before we ever called him that. What are you willing to call yourself until you come into the awareness of, until the world comes into the awareness of who it is that you are? See, for many of us, we called ourselves failures. And as a result, because we kept reciting it, rehearsing it, affirming it, the world now saw it as well. What if you could flip the script and now tell yourself that you're more than a conqueror? Now speak to the champion that's on the inside of you. Now speak to the queen or the king that's on the inside of you. Hmm? Muhammad Ali said it until he believed it. And sometimes you have to say what you don't believe until you believe it. Yeah, you got to tell yourself that you're a millionaire, even if you may not believe it, until your mind catches up with you to where you can create innovative ideas to have what it is that you desire to receive. Are you following me? I've got to say it until my mind begins to grasp it. And then when my mind begins to grasp it, that's when my work ethic begins to go after it. I got to retrain my brain. Muhammad Ali said said it until he believed it, that he was the greatest. He said it until he became it. And then here's what he did. He said it until people recognized it. And people recognize it as a result of the work ethic. For us, work is a 4-letter cuss word, right? Because we just want to name it and claim it, blab it and grab it, speak it and receive it. But here's some things. Faith without work won't work. For me to march forth, I got to put one foot in front of the other. I got to walk by faith. I got to recognize that the steps of a good man or woman are ordered by the Lord. Here's the thing. God can't order what you won't take a step on. You won't step out on the vision. You won't step out on the opportunity. You won't step out on the idea. How can he order what you won't do? The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. I got to take initiative first so that God can bless what it is that I step out on. Most dangerous place you can be in life, hear me, is not when you're walking on water, but when you're staying in the boat. What words are you speaking over your life every single day? What do you say about yourself to affirm your greatness each and every single day? Why do I ask that? Because you got to realize this, your words create your world. What you speak into the atmosphere will appear. Your future or your funeral is on the tip of the tongue. Scripture says this, death and life is in the power of the tongue. And hear me, what I'm thinking dictates what I'm saying. What I'm saying dictates where I'm going. Do you see the sequence? What you think dictates what you say. What you say dictates where you go or lack thereof. And here's one thing about limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs will always be a liability to your life. Too many people saying, I don't know enough. You keep saying you don't know enough, you're going to start saying, I'm not enough. You keep saying you're not enough, you're going to eventually say, I don't have enough. You keep saying, I don't know enough, I'm not enough, I don't have enough. You'll start internalizing that you'll never be enough. Somebody just type enough is enough. Come on, type that. Enough is enough. Stop with all the limited thinking. Stop beating yourself up about what didn't go right. and start celebrating yourself about what's about to happen that's going to go the right way. Stop beating yourself up about what didn't work and start adopting a spirit of expectation about what's getting ready to come that's going to blow your mind. Get to the place to where you say enough is enough. Enough with the stinking thinking. Enough with the limited beliefs. Enough with being around people who are drama filled dream killers. Enough is enough. I'm a disruptor. Enough is enough. I'm a trailblazer. Enough is enough. I'm a trendsetter. Enough is enough. I'm a creator. Enough is enough. I'm an innovator. Who am I talking to today? I hope it's you. Who am I talking to? I want to talk to that innovator. I'm only talking to creators. I'm only talking to trailblazers. I'm only talking to trendsetters. I'm only talking to innovators. That's who I want to talk to. And if you're not, I hope it gets through your mind to where now you begin to shift your mindset to that level. Simply because you were created to create. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He created why? Because there was no blueprint before him. There was nothing before him anyway. No entity had ever did what he was doing simply because he knew his identity. And when you know your identity, you can step into darkness and say, let there be light. When you know your identity, you can create out of nothing. And hear me. How do I know I was created to create? Simply because I was created in the image of the creator. I was created in the image of God. And since I'm created in the image of God, here's what I got to do. I got to reflect what's within me. Yeah. You were created not to compare. You were created to create. You were created not to copy. You were created to innovate. You were created not to look down on somebody else. You were created to look up to the hills from where your help comes from. You were created to encourage. You were created to manifest. You were created to innovate. You were created to elevate. Come on. And here's the thing. The enemy always wants to talk you out of what's within you. Isn't that interesting? The enemy, seeds of self-doubt, always want to talk you out of what's within you. Think about this. The enemy's primary purpose has always been to conflate. The enemy's primary purpose has always been to confuse. He's a 6,000-year-old psychologist. What does he want to confuse you about? He wants to confuse humanity about their identity, and he's been doing that ever since antiquity. Come on. Think about it. In Genesis, the enemy didn't want Adam and Eve to know their true identity. So what did he do? He sowed seeds of confusion, gaslighting. Yeah. I got to make you think that you don't have what you have when I know what you got. I got to make you doubt you when you already have what's within you. He's the originator gaslighter. Yeah. So what did he do? He sowed seeds of division. He sowed seeds of confusion. The enemy knew they were on full, but he wanted to make them feel that they were empty. The enemy said the only reason God don't want you to eat the fruit is that you will be like gods. Here's the thing. Adam and Eve were already created in the image and in the likeness of God. Come on. Enemy has always been after the identity of humanity. Enemy has always been after the identity of mankind. And here's the thing. If he can confuse you about who it is that you are, if he can confuse you about your purpose, you will always remain unfulfilled. You will always live your life as a low down, dirty shame. Yeah. Where's Keenan Ivory Wayne's at? You'll always live your life from a place of stinking thinking. You'll always live your life limited beliefs because he wants you to not realize what you already have placed within you. Yeah. Wants to sow those seeds of self doubt. If he can make you recite that everything is not going to be all right, if he can make you recite that you don't have what it takes, that you're not this, that you're not that, that you wish you were somebody else, that you're more of a problem than you are an answer. Here it is. The seeds that he sowed to gaslight you will eventually turn the light off within you. What does it say? You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. I can't be the light if I've been gaslit. I can't be the light if my light is off. Come on. So, what I got to do, I got to eliminate to elevate. Negative thoughts come to your head. Scientists suggest this that 75% of our thoughts each and every single hour are negative. Did you hear what I said? 75% of our thoughts each and every single hour are negative. What I have to do, I got to retrain my brain. I have to think positive, powerful thoughts. I can't march forth if I move in the spirit of comparison. I can't march forth if I'm so focused on what you're doing that I never focus on what it is that God created me to do. Somebody just type focus. Somebody just type focus. I gotta focus on my focus. I have to focus on my focus. Some of us can't focus on our focus because we don't know what we were created to do. We're trying to be like everybody else when you need to focus on what it is that you're focused on. Here's what we do simply because we don't focus on our focus. Number two, told you number one, comparison is the thief of joy. These are things that prevent you from marching forth on March the 4th and beyond. I know it sounds like a scintillating, sensational title. Oh, March 4th on March 4th. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But a lot of times for us, it's easier said than done. There's a breakthrough that's got to take place. Number two, after number one, comparison is a thief of joy. Number two, I want you to write this down. Focusing on the past. Focusing on the past stops us from marching forth. Focusing on the past. Listen, you're tuned into the In the Mix at 6. We're giving you insight, inspiration, speaking about innovation to innovators. Innovation doesn't happen on the outside until it first happens on the inside. You want to be an amazing community of camaraderie. You want to be an amazing community of connection. You want to be an amazing community of innovators, of eagles. Where are my eagles at? Come on, drop some eagles. Come on. Where are my eagles? Drop some emoji eagles. All my eagles who are part of my Eagles Academy. Yeah, where we show you how to grow into success and purpose. Show you how to grow your greatness with strategy, solutions, structure, systems. You know what a system is? A system saves you time, energy, money. That's the acronym for system. Saving you time, energy, money. You want to get the systems, the strategies, the structure, the solutions for the transformation of what it is that you desire to have. The transformation in your heart, the transformation in your mind, the transformation in your soul and your goals, the relational intelligence that you got to adopt, the emotional intelligence, the emotional awareness, the spiritual intelligence, the transformational intelligence as a result. Come on, you want to grow in your industry. I know you do. You want to grow in your relationships, in your family. Let's get the blueprint of not just information, but application and implementation for transformation. Join us in the transformation station of the Eagles Academy. Go right now to the eaglesacademy.com. Yes, go right now to the eaglesacademy.com. Tap the join now button when you get there. It's going to take you to a form. Fill out the form. Be transformed. That's what it is. TheEaglesAcademy.com. Fill out the form. Be transformed. Number two, talking about focusing. Focusing on the past is one of the liabilities that cause you to limp rather than to march. Apostle Paul said this. He said, a whole bunch of things I could do, but this one thing that I do, getting those things which are behind. And here it is, reaching forth unto those things which are before. Got to forget about the past. I got to reach and I got to press. Pressing toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. Hear me. If your calling is high, why are you allowing depression to bring you so low? Pressing toward the mark for the prize of the high call. You got a high calling on your life. Listen, if your calling is so high, why are you allowing a heartbreak to bring you so low? Yeah, because here it is. Sometimes the heartbreak is not caused by the enemy. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes the heartbreak is not caused by the enemy. Sometimes the heartbreak is God pushing you out of what he knew was so familiar to you. Sometimes here's what it is. God has to separate you from what you would never walk away from. Yeah, he knew you wouldn't leave it, so he had to allow it or them to leave you. Yeah, I know you've been crying tears of joy, but the pain is going to produce purpose. The tears of joy that you're crying now are going to reap tears of the tears that you're crying right now of pain are going to lead to tears of joy in the end. Yeah. He didn't want his purpose to leave you, so he had allowed them to leave you. He had allowed them to break your heart. I know it broke your heart, but in many cases, it's getting ready to fix your vision. If your calling is high, why allow depression to bring you so low? Because here's the thing, if you rearrange the letters in depression, it'll read, I pressed on. Press toward the mark. For me to press toward the mark, I got to march. Yeah, I got to march out of sadness. I got to march out of depression. I got to march out of angst and animosity. I got to march out of negativity. I got to march out of what wouldn't work. I got to march out of what people said. I got to march out of what people did. I have to get familiar with focus versus focusing on the past. Come on, because the past can be a prison. But hear me, your future is freedom. You got to blast past your past. You got to push past your past. You got to pray past your past. You got to prepare past your past. That's got to flow to it. Why? Because here's the thing, if you allow the past to use you, you'll always be limited. But here's what you got to do, you got to use the past. I use the past as a testimony. Yeah, I use the past as a testimony to say, listen, I came through this test. God blessed me to overcome this test. I use this past as an opportunity to now share my scars, my wounds, my traumas, my trials, my tribulations, to let somebody know, baby girl, it's going to be all right. My dear brother from another mother, you're going to make it through this thing. Got to have some stick to itiveness. You got to have some perseverance. Got to take the time to pray, to pause, to ponder, to allow yourself to even isolate so that you can elevate. But in many cases, between isolation and elevation is revelation. Get to a place of where you say, listen, I'm not blaming anybody for what it is that I've dealt with. I'm going to take accountability for me. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Number three, let's go on to number three. Number three, write this, be anxious, being anxious about the future. I'm sharing the things that inhibit you, the things that stop you from marching in March and beyond. Told you number one, comparison is a thief of joy. Number two, told you focusing on the past. Number three, being anxious about the future. Somebody write that. Being anxious about the future. That's one of the things that stops you from marching into purpose. Scripture says this: be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, let your request be made known unto God. If you're going to worry, you might as well not even pray. And if you're going to pray, don't even worry. Right? Which one are you going to do? Going to pray or you going to worry? Because one is going to cancel out the other. 1 Timothy 2:8 says this. It says, I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands. Here's the thing: without wrath and doubting. What do many of us struggle with? You know what we struggle with the most? We struggle the most with wrath and doubting. Let me break it down even more. We struggle the most with anger and anxiety. Yeah, that's, that's what we struggle the most with. We struggle the most with anger, anxiety. Anger, one letter away from danger. Anxiety, we mentally tripping. Yeah. Anxiety, we always thinking about what's not going to work. We always talking ourselves out of what God wants us to step into. Anger, anxiety. And a lot of times, here it is, we're angry because we're anxious. Hmm. Then again, sometimes we have anxiety because we're angry. Do you see how those coalesce together? Angry oftentimes because we did not become what we were supposed to be. Angry a lot of times because we did not heal from what we should have dealt with. Angry a lot of times because we allowed people to mistreat us. Angry a lot of times because we did not hold ourselves to a level where we know we should have been. Angry because we didn't seize the moment and do what it is that we were supposed to do. And so now, as a result of it, now we compare ourselves with other people. Who does she think she is? Who does that person think they are? Somebody who decided to seize the moment, saint or sinner, saint or ain't. God's going to let it rain on the just or the unjust, simply because they're working the principles. Anxiety, torment mentally. Why? Because here's the thing: you're living in an emotional prison without bars. The Come on. You're in a prison cell with the keys in your hand, and you keep focusing on the bars versus, in many cases, using that same key to get on out of what it is that you trapped into. We're dealing with wrath. We're dealing with doubting. We're dealing with anger and anxiety. Yeah. Anxiety oftentimes originates from self doubt, self limiting beliefs, lack of self confidence, simply because people who were in our lives, who were supposed to heal us and help us, wound up hurting us and harming us simply because they did not affirm us. And here's the thing: we hold people accountable for what they didn't do for us, when in many cases it's generational. Nobody affirmed them. If nobody affirmed them, how did they know how to affirm us? Do you hear me? Well, mama and daddy, they didn't affirm me. Now you bleeding on people who didn't cut you. Now you got mother wounds. Now you got father wounds. Now you're holding them hostage for what it is that they didn't do. Release them. Stop locking them up. Let them go. Maybe it was that they were not affirmed either. Maybe because even generations before that, they were not affirmed. And so all of a sudden now you just magically expect to appear here, that now they're going to affirm you when they were not affirmed. Affirmation is taught, not always caught. Do you hear me? So here's what you got to do. In many cases, you're going to have to engage in the fierce urgency of now by reparenting yourself, becoming for yourself what you wish somebody would have became for you. The relationship didn't affirm you because you had the father wounds. Now you wanted the man to be the father for you. The relationship wounds. You didn't have the mother the right way. Now you want the mother to be The girlfriend to be the mother for you, the woman to be the mother for you, the wife to be the mother for you. They can't do that. We're putting an onus on people who we're expecting to raise us, when in many cases, we got to raise our level of belief. We got to raise ourselves out of self doubt. We got to raise in praise so that now we can embrace who it is that God created us to be. Doubt and faith, hear me, cannot occupy the same space. Somebody just type, let it go. Somebody just type, let it go. Let go of holding them hostage. You get out of the psychological prison without bars. Heal from the psychological pain. Time to heal from the emotional incarceration that in many cases has kept you incarcerated. Yeah. Can't be innovative because you're incarcerated. Can't be inspired because you're incarcerated. Doubt and faith cannot occupy and coexist in the same space. Don't get focused. Don't get so focused on the plight that you forget about the promise and the purpose that God gave you. Come on. What you went through makes your story stronger. How you live through what you live through causes you to bounce back even greater. Stop focusing on the plight that you forget and you ignore the promise and the purpose of what it is that God gave you. You're not a liability, you're an asset. You're not a liability, you're an asset to your family, you're an asset to your community. You're not a stereotype, you're a prototype. You know what your problem is? Your problem is that you're not marching, you're moonwalking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Michael Jackson's the GOAT too. I get it. But the problem is you're not marching, you're moonwalking. You keep moonwalking away from your purpose. You keep moonwalking away from your destiny. You keep moonwalking away from your mission. You keep moonwalking away from the positive mindset. It looks like you're getting ready to go forward, but then all of a sudden, boom, now you go backward. 2 steps forward, 3 steps backward. Stop moonwalking, start marching. Because when you start moonwalking, here's what you're doing. You're not going forward, you hustling backwards. Yeah, you hustling backwards. Every single thought that you think about, why is it not going to work? You're moonwalking backwards. Every single thing where it is that now you're focused on what your ex said about you or what people did to you or how your boss don't like you or the issue that happened in your relationships. You're not marching, you moonwalking. If you can just quiet the voices in your head. Here's the problem. We got too many voices in our head. And here's the thing. Since you got so many voices in your head, you don't even know what God said. Since you got so many voices in your head, you don't even know what you're supposed to think. You got somebody pulling the right hemisphere of your brain. You got somebody pulling the left hemisphere of your brain. Feeling like you're going insane. Got your ex still in your head. Y'all been broken up 2 years ago. They still in your mind. Hmm? Got your uncle in your head. Told you wasn't good. Told you weren't no good. Got your mama voice in your head. Told you just like your father. She said that 20 years ago. But here's what it did. It left a stain on your brain. Come on. Come on. You need a remote control for your mind. Mute you, mute you, mute you, mute you. Matter of fact, forget the muting. Giving them eviction notice. And I ain't waiting 30 days. In the next 30 seconds, in Jesus' name, my mind is loosed. so I can be of use. Yeah. All of those voices got you making all the wrong choices. You don't even know what to choose. No wonder you don't make a decision because you're so indecisive. And here's the thing, indecision becomes your decision because you didn't cut the connection. Folks hanging on to the neurons of your brain don't even know what decision to make because you got too many voices in your head. And guess what? Now it's causing you to have anxiety about the future. Yeah, you don't know if you're coming or if you're going. Your mental health isn't even in check. Come on. You think you need a massage. Yeah, for self-care. No, no, no. You just need a mind shift. Mhm. You think you need your hair done or your hair cut? No, no, no. I just need to make sure that I don't have people playing in my mind. I need to make sure that I have what's going on in my head. I get that together. Because a lot of times we're dealing with pressure. We say pressure makes diamonds, but here's the thing. Pressure don't always just make diamonds. Sometimes pressure bursts pipes. Sometimes pressure bursts blood vessels. Sometimes pressure bursts the pain in your brain. Sometimes pressure, here it is, leads to aneurysms. Why? Because here it is, your life is out of rhythm. But I come to let somebody know today, in the month of March, that you're going to march. I didn't tell you you're going to leap. I didn't tell you you're going to limp. You're going to leap. I didn't tell you, no, you're not going to moonwalk. You're going to march forward. Forward march. Why? Because God's giving you peace for the pressure. He's giving you peace from broken pieces. You're not going to lose your mind. Why? Because God is holding you together. He's stitching you together. He's putting you back together. Pieces of your life have been all over the place. Some of the pieces of your life have been left over in LA. Some of the pieces of your life have been left over in Georgia. Some of the pieces of your life were from North Dakota to New Mexico. But here's the thing. God is bringing you together again. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. But here it is. There's a king, king of kings, king of all kings, was able to do it, put him back together again. Come on, somebody just type peace. Come on, type peace. If you know God has given you peace under pressure, type peace. Hear me. If you know God is giving you suitability in the midst of anxiety. Come on, type peace, peace, peace to every storm. Peace be still. Peace to every situation. Peace to your mind. You're not going in circles. You're not losing your mind. You're not going to remain depressed. You're not going to remain anxious. You're not going to be worried about the future. You're not going to be worried about the past. The past is past. You can't fix the past. You're not going to be presently worried about this situation. God is working it out. The court situation, the home ownership situation, the car situation, the job situation, the finances. It's all being worked out. God has given you peace. So as a result, since he's giving you peace, you got victory over depression. You got victory over stress. You got victory over sadness. You got victory over anxiety. And here's, as a result of it, because of the peace that's coming to your mind, because of the peace, here it is, that passes all understanding, I'll keep you in perfect peace. If you keep your mind stayed on me. Here's the thing. Too many times we're trying to give people a piece of our mind. But here's the thing. We're only left with just a piece of our mind, but no peace of mind. Every thing does not deserve a rebuttal. Come on. Delete the 4-page text thread. Yeah. Yeah. Your problem is you're trying to give people a piece of your mind, but you only left with just a piece of your mind, but no peace of mind. Come on, come on. Come down off of your high horse of why you got to give people a piece of their mind, of your mind. Well, I got to give my 2 cents. And that's about all you got left upstairs. It's just about 2 cents worth of an idea, 2 cents worth of mental health, 2 cents worth of clarity. Because here it is. People know how to treat you like an elevator because they know how to push your buttons and they don't take you up, they bring you down. Yeah. They come on. You'll only find a clown at the circus. Stop being everybody's entertainment simply because you want to go 0 to 100 real quick. You can't control your emotions. You fly off a handle. It's not really them. You're projecting your own emotions onto them. Yeah, when you got peace within, nobody can disturb your peace on the outside. Why? Because you can't put a price on my peace. You can't talk me out of my peace. You can't make me angry out of my peace. You can't make me get out of character because I got peace. I ain't even got to pick up a piece because I got peace. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody gonna get that. It's your time from over. There's your time of overflow. From here it is. From just enough to more than enough. I believe who I'm talking. I don't know who I'm talking to. I hope it's you. But God is shifting you from stress to blessed. God is shifting you. Here it is. From overwhelming pressure to overflowing peace. Yeah, you shifting from stress to blessed. You're not gonna lose your mind. It's your time of overflow. It's your time from just enough to more than enough. Somebody just type it. Somebody just type amen. Come on, type amen if you believe God has given you victory over depression. Type amen if you're holding on to your peace. Type amen if you know the struggle and the sadness is not going to endure. Type amen if you know, here it is, that you have victory over anxiety. Yeah, you ain't going to have to pop no pills to go to sleep. You're not going to have to get on antidepressants. Why? Simply because I'm in his presence. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. In his presence is fullness of joy. His right hand is pleasure forevermore. I got Jesus and a therapist. I'm gonna be at my best. Here it is. That's why the M in March, hear me, is about mindset. Somebody just type mindset. Yeah, yeah. Can I break down what March is all about? March isn't just about college basketball. And I'm glad for that because I'm gonna be tuned in. March is not just about the flow of March Madness. March is not just about spring, and we know we need better weather. March is about whether or not my mindset is right. Yeah, somebody just type mindset. The M in March is about mindset. And here's what you got to do: you got to maximize your mindset and make it your mission to march forward this month. Do you know what your greatest asset is? Your greatest asset is not your Louboutin heels. Your greatest asset is not your Louis Vuitton scarf. Your greatest asset is not your Theory Mugler angel perfume. Greatest asset is not your car. Greatest asset is not your house. Greatest asset is not your children and your spouse. Yeah, they're important. But here it is. It means nothing without your mindset. Your greatest asset is your mindset. Why do I say that? Simply because if you think it, you can become it. If you think the right thoughts, you can think and grow rich. How do I know it? Philippians 4 and 8 makes it great. Says, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, what I need to do, I need to get my mind right. I need to get my mindset right. I need to think on these things. Yeah. Because here's the thing. Too many times we're focused on what we don't have. And here's the thing. When you focus on what you don't have, you won't have. Nakia, you rocking with me. What's going on, sis? Coco Chanel in the building. Yeah. When you focus on what you don't have, you won't have. Here's the thing. We only think at the level that we think. Yeah. Yeah. You think at the level that you think. And some of us don't think at all because we don't think at all. Yeah. We don't think. We give God a long laundry list of what somebody else got that we want. I will think at the level that I think. Think about all the things that went right in your life versus think about all the things that went wrong. Think about all the ways that have been made and all the doors that have been opened for you that only God did. God did. Come on. Think about all the things that you keep skipping over because you keep thinking about what somebody else got that you don't have. And here's the thing. Too many times we're focusing on who we're not, which is a direct result of what we think that we don't have. And here's the thing, you've made other people your source versus you realizing that you are a resource. I think at the level that I think. I got to adjust my thinking to begin to adjust my thinking. Because here's the thing, gratitude opens the door for more. And I can't march forward unless I first get my mindset right. Where I'm going is directly connected to how I'm thinking. I got to get my mindset together. Come on now. You got to put a screen door on your mind. As the weather's getting ready to heat up, right? You say, for instance, you got a little patio on your outside your house. What do you generally have? On the patio, you got a screen door. Why? I got a screen door because I need to screen out some insects that I don't want to come into my house. Some of us don't have a screen door in our mind. We're allowing any and everything to come through our own mind and we won't filter it. Yeah. The things in our mind, here it is, that are bugging us. The things that are our minds that are negative gnats that we allow to fester, that we allow to live in our mind, that we allow to grow. And as a result, here it is, it inhibits our growth mindset. So what do? We adopt a lacking mindset. We adopt a insufficient mindset. We adopt a less than mindset. When here it is, my mindset and my march are interconnected. I can't come here tonight. Come here. For my march to take place, my mindset has to be merged with my march. And in many cases, our mindset is merged with a moonwalk. Yeah, because what I'm thinking makes me look like I'm getting ready to go forward, but I keep going backward. I'm not pressing on the mark to go forward, to go in the drive. I'm pressing to reverse. And in many cases, what we do is that we reverse the curse. We reverse and rehearse a curse that has been over our life. Got to get my mindset right. Number two, second letter in March is an A. I know you got all those on your report card. That ain't my testimony. I'd be phony if I said that was my testimony. But let me talk to all those folks, A plus folks. And if not, we gonna get there. M in March is for mindset. The A in March is for, here it is, accountability. I know we don't like that word. Yeah. Accountability says, I got to take an account. It ain't my Louis Vuitton account. It ain't my Saks Fifth Avenue account. It ain't my bank account. It's my personal account. The A stands for accountability. Hear me, hear me, hear me. Certain doors of opportunity won't open for you this month and beyond without you using the key of accountability. Do you hear me? Who am I talking to? I hope it's you. What I mean by that, show DJ Khaled major key alert moment. I got the keys, keys, keys. Certain doors of opportunity not gonna open without the key of accountability. What do I mean by that? No blame shifting. Mm-mm. No manipulation. Yeah, you know what? You know you're in the hands of a manipulator when you feel bad for what they did to you. Ooh, who am I talking to? Come on, come on. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is too good for you to keep to yourself. Go on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop. YouTube. Join me on the YouTube side. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Yeah, join me on the YouTube side. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Put me on your big screen TV. Let the neighbors know my name. Yeah. You changing your name. Your name is Victory. Come on. Know you're in the hands of a manipulator when you feel bad for what they did to you. Too many times we gaslight ourselves. Too many times we manipulate our own emotions and our own feelings and our own mindset simply because we want to put the blame on everybody else. What did my teacher tell me when I was in grade school? Whenever you point one finger at somebody else, you always got more fingers pointed back in your direction. I got to make the interconnection. Unless I use that key of accountability, I'm not going to be able to open new doors of opportunity. I got to realize that. I got to recognize that. I got to know that. No blame shifting, no manipulation, no gaslighting. None of it. No talking myself out of what I know I need to step into. Here's what it is. Accountability is this. Accountability, you don't like this one, is just straight ownership. Yeah, that's what it's about. Accountability, just straight ownership. Maturational development, personal accountability. It's a day by day thing simply because here's the thing. I'm literally just clay on the potter's wheel. That's all I'm at. I'm clay on the potter's wheel. And simply because I'm clay on the potter's wheel, here's the thing. God shifts me. God shapes me. God molds me. God makes me. Yeah. What I thought was my true identity, he now reveals it to me by allowing me to be on the potter's wheel. What I mean by that, he's the potter. I'm the clay. He molds me. He makes me. He shifts me. He shapes me. He directs me. He takes me to a greater level of where it is that I thought I was supposed to be. But he makes room for me. Got to realize this, that you clay in the hands of the potter. God molds you. He makes you. He shapes you. He shifts you. Why? Because he's doing that to cause you to move into the place of who it is that you were designed to become. Listen, being on the potter's wheel, being clay in God's hand, is don't feel good. Don't feel good at all. But here's the thing, even though it doesn't feel good, it works for your good. Here's how you know you're in the right hands. You know you're in the right hands when you're not used. You're in the right hands because you're to be of use. Best hands to be in are his hands. When you're in his hands, you're able to understand. Because here's the thing, accountability is about personal integrity. Accountability, here it is about making your life a particular priority. To say, guess what? This one is not on nobody else. This is on me. Yeah. What they could have treated me better, but what did I allow? Personal accountability is about, here it is, authenticity. It's also about transparency. No transparency without personal truth. No transparency without maturational development. No transparency without personal maturity and identity. Come on. You know what accountability is? Accountability is this. If you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. If you mess up, you fess up. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Just because you messed up doesn't mean you're messed up. Are you understanding me? Yeah. Just because that happened doesn't mean that's who it is that you are. Let me move on. I'm coming around the mountain. Here I come. The R in March. Told you M is for mindset. A is for accountability. The R in March is for relationships. I need you to understand this. There are no solid relationships without relational intelligence. What is relational intelligence? Relational intelligence moves us to this place to absorb the notion of what this is. Relational intelligence is how I relate to people, how I build healthy relationships. It's all about the development of people skills. Come on, we gonna make it make sense in March. Mindset. Come on. Accountability, relationships. My relationships will only survive and not thrive if I don't have relational intelligence. You know what relational intelligence is a byproduct of? Relational intelligence doesn't just happen by osmosis. Relational intelligence doesn't just pop all into your mind all of a sudden. Relational intelligence is a byproduct of emotional awareness. Yeah. Relational intelligence is a byproduct of emotional intelligence. And you know what emotional intelligence is? Emotional awareness is self awareness, it's self confidence, it's self esteem, it's the self respect. It's this is what it is. It's how I create safe spaces for people to be vulnerable, for people to be them without me specifically judging them. Why? Because here it is. I don't have a law degree, so I don't judge. Emotional awareness. It's managing your emotions in a particularly healthy way to understand the emotions of other people around you. Because if you don't, this is what you're going to do. You're going to sabotage. You're going to self sabotage. How are you going to do that? You're going to do that by mismanaging you and mismanaging them too. Why? Because too often people assume that people have the same needs as them and they find it frustrating when they don't. You mean to tell me you're not like me? You mean to tell me, you're not like this, you don't like that? Sorry, not sorry, but I'm different than you. Different does not mean deficient because I'm different doesn't mean I'm a detriment. Here's the question. Are you determined to love me differently than what you're used to? Are you determined to love me differently because even though my needs are different than yours? Come on. Everybody's not like you. World would be totally boring if everybody was like you. Be boring if everybody was like me. Differences don't mean deficiencies. And here's the thing, it's easy to love what you like. It's easy to love who likes what you like. But can you challenge yourself to meet the needs of somebody who may not have the same interests as you? And here's the thing, what I realize, a lot of people give to receive, they don't give to give. Did you hear what I just said? A lot of people give to receive, they don't give to give. Oh, they give you a gift because here's the thing, at the end of the finish line, they expect to receive one in return. They don't just to give. They give because they got strings attached. They give because here it is. They have ulterior motives. Mm. Listen, you need people in your life who just want to give just because they want to give out of the kindness of their own heart, and they won't try to remind you what they did for you. Oh, mm. Yeah. Because every single time that something don't go right, now you want to bring up what you did for me or what they did for you. It tells me you didn't do it out of the kindness of your own heart. You did it so you could keep rehearsing it. You did it so you could pull something out your little filing cabinet and said, I did this, I did that for you. So they could dangle the carrot. Come on. Because here's the thing, sometimes a necklace becomes a noose. Sometimes yeah. Sometimes a bracelet becomes a handcuff. Keep your gifts. I'm a gift. so somebody just type I'm a gift. Somebody just type I'm a gift. Yeah, you need discernment to recognize, is this a bracelet or is it a handcuff? You need discernment to really recognize, is this a necklace or is it a noose? Come on. Are you giving me a gift out of the kindness of your heart, or are you giving to receive? Because here's what the scripture tells me, it's more blessed to give. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night. It's been real. It's been real. I don't even need to do the C and the H. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're not gonna have a marred march. Here's what it is. It's more blessed to give than to receive. Mm. Can the gift that they receive in your excitement be good enough? Can the gift that they receive from the smile that forms on your face be good enough? Or do they have to receive a gift in return to feel good enough? Because a lot of people, like I said, give to receive, they don't give to give. Come on. You could take yourself to the mall. Yeah, you get your own groceries. You could buy your own shoes. Come on. Another thing is, we're talking about relationships in March. Sometimes you don't even know what your needs are. You don't know what their needs are because you don't even know what your own are. Sometimes you don't even know how to ask them to be met simply because you don't even want to come off as needy. Relationships should not have to be strained to be maintained. Should be a flow, not a force. Why? Because they don't want to debate you. They want to have a dialogue so you both can get along. Can we all just get along? Hmm? What's the motive? What's the motive? And for me to know the motive, I got to have discernment. For me to know the motive, I have to be emotionally aware. For me to know the motive, I can't be so caught up in focusing on gifts that I fail to realize I am a gift. Because here's the thing, sometimes the greatest present is someone's presence. Yeah. And here's the thing, when you got somebody's presence that brings peace, that brings purpose, that doesn't bring paralysis, you don't need a whole lot of gifts because they recognize the gift in you. You recognize the gift in them too. Let's go to letter C in March. Come on, like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. M in March for mindset. A in March for accountability. Peace up, A-Town down. I don't throwing some balloons up now. R in March for relationships. No, relationships are relational intelligence. C for character. Yeah. Letter C in March is for character. And here's the thing, character is like your credit score. That's why they call it credibility. You thought I was done. Yeah. Character is like your credit score. That's why they call it credibility. One of my favorite movies, I could probably watch it each and every single day. Just don't have the time. Really just don't. Sometimes I don't turn my TV on for the whole week. I'm just working. But one of my favorite movies, when I get time to watch, is the Batman trilogy, especially The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight trilogy, amazing. Cinematography, amazing. I like Christian Bale as Batman. I like him. Very good Batman, convincing. We need another one. I'm campaigning for Christian Bale to come back as Batman. Great actor in my book. But I love the Dark Knight series. And what I realized this, in that particular film, Batman was trying to decide whether he was going to save a former love interest, Rachel, or this guy by the name of Harvey Dent, who wound up being Rachel's new love interest. He decided to save Harvey Dent. Why? Who knows? Harvey Dent got burned badly in the film. Accident. Well, I wouldn't say accident. It was the Joker set it up. Harvey Dent has one side of his face totally decimated and burned. I mean, it's pretty ugly to even see. Even though we know it was CGI. Right? But oftentimes, we have become like the character Harvey Dent in the movie The Dark Knight. As I said, after tragic burn, Dent's face, he was scarred for life. And in our own lives, when you think about this, a lot of us are like Harvey Dent because we've been burned. We've been scarred by people. We've been scarred by life circumstances and situations. And so here it is. Rather than healing, we now resort to becoming the victimized villain. And here's the thing, the victimized villain is the opposite of our true identity. Harvey Dent was a great man in the film prior to the burn, had political aspirations, wanted to do everything decently and in order, wanted to save the city of Gotham. And a situation got the best of him. And as a result of finding wisdom rather than finding wisdom from our wounds, we live our life picking at the wound. We live our life being a victimized villain rather than walking into the power of our true identity of victory. Here's what Harvey Dent would always do. He would always have a coin in his hand and he'd flip the coin and he'd catch the coin and he would live his life based upon chance. If his heads, he'd do this. If his tails, he'd do that. He'd live his life based on chance rather than choice. Harvey Dent began to adopt the nickname called Two-Face. And here's the thing. Because we've been burned, because we've been scarred, because we've been wounded, because hurting people hurt people, here's what we do. We now live our life two-faced. We now live our life hiding behind a mask and flipping a coin to live by chance rather than by choice. Come on, we've allowed situations to dent our determination. Yeah, like Harvey Dent. We've allowed situations to dent our self-esteem, to dent our flow of faith and favor, simply because we operate out of fear. And what we got to do, we got to make a choice to take a chance. Take a choice. Make a choice to take a chance on becoming the man that you were supposed to be. Make a choice to take a chance on becoming the woman that you were created to be. How do I do that? I got to embrace my vulnerability. I have to move into a place of emotional intelligence and awareness. I got to find peace from broken pieces. I got to pursue my purpose. I got to turn the test into a testimony. I got to look at the misery and see ministry as a result of it. I got to love myself. I got to heal from the emotional scars and the wounds by allowing the stumbling block to become a stepping stone. I got to walk in the authority of my authenticity. Why? Because life is built in character. Yeah. Character is based on decisions. Decisions are built on values. Values are built on faith. Got to develop the character. Got to be curious. Got to know my calling. And here's one thing about character development. Character development is necessary if you're going to unlock the door to identity and your opportunity. Here's one thing I realized about character. Character will take you where talent can't keep you. Talent will only take you to the top, but what will character do? Character will keep you on top. And here's the thing. Saying I do to you before I say I do. I got to say I do to me before I say I do to anybody else. Saying I do to you before you say I do to somebody else is about, here it is, character development. Why is that? Because carrots without character is chaotic. Carrots, curves, cars, clothes, charisma is cool. But character is what will outlast all of it. Heard somebody say this. Your personality is perfume, but your character is how you really smell. Did you hear what I just said? And no, I don't need to blow my nose. I'm just taking a little sniff. I'm taking a little whiff. Yeah. Personality is perfume, but character is how you really smell. Yeah. Here it is. The reason their attitude stinks is because their character is rotten. You shall know a tree by the fruit that it bears. Somebody just type, take a sniff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, take a sniff. Hmm. Yeah, their character. Attitude stinks because the character's rotten. Personality is perfume. Character's how you really smell. Last but not least, I've upset you enough tonight. That means I've done my job. Yeah. Last letter in March is the letter H. Told you M in March stands for mindset. A is for accountability. The R is for relationships. The C is for character. I hope you can see clearly now. And the H is not for the hell you cause, it's for the healing you're going to experience. Somebody just type healing. Somebody just type healing. Healing is all about the fact that you can't fight what you won't face. You can't address what you won't confess. You can't heal from what you won't deal with. You can't heal what you won't reveal. As a result, your healing will always be concealed. You will never heal in the same place where you were broken. Yeah, you will never heal from the same hands that hurt you. You will also never heal if you keep picking at the wound. Wisdom can't come if you keep picking at the wound. And here's the thing, healing doesn't happen to you until it first begins within you. Let me say that twice because it's also nice. Healing doesn't happen to you until it first begins within you. And that is when we take off the mask, we can find healing from our past. Yeah. Somebody just type win from within. Come on, type win from within. You got to march forth with the truth about you. You got to march forth with the healed version of you, not the hurting version of you. You got to march forth with the beauty, with the beauty in you, not the brokenness that happened to you. You got to march forth with the truth about you. You got to march forth with people who want to love you through what you go through. You got to march forth with people who want to encourage you. You got to march forth with people who want to see you doing good and they're not intimidated. Because whoever you intimidate is who you will eliminate. You got to march forth with people who want to see you grow, not stop your flow. Who am I talking to? Because here's the thing, most of us don't have teammates, we have opponents. Yeah. We got opponents with no goals. We have opponents with no dreams. We have opponents who oppose ourselves. We have opponents who oppose us. And here's the thing, you become your biggest opponent because you oppose yourself with telling yourself what you can't do due to stinking thinking. Hear me. You can't march with people who only intend to trip you up. Why? Because they're tripping you up out of their own hangups, much less your success. Got to realize that. It's hard to march with people. It's hard to march when people, patterns, and personal problems are pulling you back. People, patterns, personal problems are not going to allow you to march forth. It's going to allow you to move. It's going to make you moonwalk backward. You got to surround yourself with the right teammates if you intend to win. Why? Because the healed helped the healed you is going to help other people. Heal people, help people. Heal people, heal people. Yeah. Heal people want to help you. Heal people want to see you grow. Heal people want to see you prosper. And you got to realize there's 4 levels of healing. Healing either comes immediate or instantaneous. Healing comes in obedience. Jesus gave clear directions to people in scripture. Go to this particular pool, wash yourself 7 times. Jesus told certain people, do this, show yourself to the priest. That's where you're healing. Healing comes in obedience. Why? Because he knows what's best for me when I think I know what's best for myself. And what I know what's best for myself, what I think I know what's best for myself, doesn't compare to what God has best and better and brighter and bigger for you and for me. Healing comes in obedience. Healing also comes in this. Healing also comes in participation. It's personal participation. I have to participate in my own healing. Ooh, I know they hurt you. I know they hit you. I know they didn't help you. But hear me, healing is your responsibility. Therapy, your responsibility. Counseling, in the multitude of counselors, there's safety, your responsibility. Doing the hard work, even when it hurts, your responsibility. Putting yourself on the potter's wheel to where he molds you, he shapes you, he shakes you, he restructures you. It doesn't feel good to you, but it works for your good, for you. Oh, yeah. It's hurting, but it's working. Disappointing, but it's working. Unnerving, but it's working. Personal participation. Healing comes immediate or instantaneous. Healing comes in obedience. Healing comes in personal participation. But healing also comes in this aspect. Healing comes over time. Oh, yeah. You can be delivered, but not healed. What I mean, you're delivered out of an abusive relationship. You're delivered out of a divorce. You delivered out of a situation that wasn't working for you. But hear me, sometimes the ramifications are not as episodic as when you cut it off. You got out of a relationship that was for 7 years in a matter of minutes or a matter of seconds based upon what you said what you will or what you won't do. But guess what? You got to get 7 years out of you. Come on. Children of Israel were in the wilderness for 40 years. Simply because they had 40 years worth of Egypt that was still on the inside of them. I can't get to Canaan until you deal with the cancer of Egypt. Can't get to the promised land until you deal with the past land. Healing comes over time because I have to get out of me what ran through me. And it takes the work to do it. And it's not episodic. Listen, it took you years to get into it. Sometimes it takes years to heal from it. Healing is not always an event. Healing is a process. What we got to do, we got to take the time to heal old pain. Got to deal and heal from old pain before you deal with a new person. Somebody just type healing is my harvest. Somebody just type that. Healing is my harvest. Healing is your harvest. Why? Because God is using you to bring healing to those hurting, peace to those perplexed. God is using you to encourage those who are discouraged. Healing is your harvest. I got to plant the seeds of strength. I got to plant the seeds of sagacity. I got to plant the seeds that uproot sorrow and sadness and suffering in silence. Why? Because today reminds you of what you must continue to do. Yeah, you got to march forth. You got to march forward. You got to walk by faith into greater joy. Got to walk by faith into open doors. You got to walk by faith into opportunities. You got to walk by faith into greater blessings. Why? Because God is ordering your steps for the next level. You got to march forth on March 4th with your vision, expecting provision. You got to march forth by faith that overcomes fear. Come on, somebody just type forward. Somebody just type march forth. Come on, it's your time to march forth. March by faith. March into purpose. March with your mental health. March with your mindset. March with accountability. March into better relationships. March with your character. March into healing. Today is your day to receive your marching orders. Come on, forward march. Forward march. Come on, I'm saluting your success. Yeah. As a general who's going to do something sensational. I'm saluting your success as a general who's going to do something transformational. Come on, I salute you for the contract you're about to sign. I salute you because your contacts is going to become contracts. I salute you because your ideas are getting ready to become income. I salute you because of how you healed from broken pieces. I salute you because you found peace from broken pieces. I salute you. Why? Because you're not moonwalking, you're marching forward. I salute you because of how you reparented yourself. I salute you because you embraced emotional intelligence and emotional awareness. I salute you because of the relational intelligence and the spiritual intelligence and the transformational intelligence that you stepped into. I salute you because you're a trendsetter. I salute you because you're a mover and you're a shaker. I salute you because you're an innovator and a creator. I salute you because you're a producer. Yeah, I salute you because here it is, you're a disruptor. You go against the grain. You're a rebel with a cause. Yeah, because you don't do this for applause. You do this for a cause. And what you got to do, since you got your marching orders, you got to march this march with expectation. You got to march this march with purpose. You got to march this march to where you're going forward. Come on, somebody just type forward if you're not going backward. The reason I'm typing forward because I'm a forward thinker. Reason I'm typing forward because I'm a futurist. The reason I'm typing forward because I'm walking by faith. Reason I'm typing forward is because I'm not going backward. Forward ever is what our sainted ancestors said. Backward never. We didn't come this far to only come this far, but we came this far by faith. Yeah. We didn't sing We Shall Overcome so that when we overcame, we forgot about those who still need to come over. Come on. Come on over. Come on over. Put one foot in front of the other. March out of that depression. March out of that trauma bond. March out of that toxic connection. March out of that low level thinking. March out of that self limiting belief. March. Yeah, march. And the only way that you can soar is if you first march. Mount up on wings as an eagle. You're going to run and not be weary. You're going to walk and not faint. Yeah. Why? Because the walking, the moving, the marching gives you momentum to soar and to take flight on wings as an eagle. Where my Eagles family at? Come on, drop some eagle emojis in the chat. Drop some eagle emojis in the chat. These are they that lock in with us each week for the purpose of growing, going, marching to the next level. Right? They understand that we all have multiple disciplines, we all have multiple gifts, we all have multiple intelligences. But here's the thing, life is multifaceted. It's not one dimensional, it's multidimensional. You've got to be multifaceted in multidimensional aspects: relational intelligence, emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, transformational intelligence, knowing your brand identity, knowing what your gift is, developing all of the ancillary aspects of what it takes for you to not just survive, but for you to thrive. Yeah. I want to give you the strategies, the structure, the solutions to take your vision to another dimension. I want to increase your ideas, your impact, your influence. As a result, it'll increase your income. Come on, get in a place to where it is one of community, camaraderie, accountability. People understand that a win for you is a win for them too. Not just information that you're getting, but implementation that moves you into a place of transformation. Transformation in your relationships, transformation in your heart, transformation in your home, transformation in your head, transformation that causes you to now create and stir up gifts with your hands. That shows you how to think differently. That shows you how to prepare for the new type of environment of the world that we're living in. And how to not be an imposter, but how to prosper. How to get out of that imposter syndrome, that low level thinking, the mindset shift that now shifts your life to another dimension. I want you to be a part of the amazing Eagles Academy. And here's what I'm going to do. As you go to the eaglesacademy.com, I want you to tap the join now button. When you tap the join now button, you're going to fill out a form. You're going to be transformed. But here's the thing, there's a coupon code on that form because you've stayed. Yeah, because you've stayed this long. This is what I want to do. I want to give you some percentages off of my Eagles Academy membership. Yeah, I want to give you a discount on the Eagles Academy membership today only. Yeah, today. Since it's March 4th, I want to show you how to March 4th, and not just March. I want to show you how to soar. Real quickly, those of you who are watching, not members of the Eagles Academy, once you do this, go to the eaglesacademy.com, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. There's a coupon code on there. I want you to put in the word soar. Somebody just type the word soar. Yeah. Type the word soar. I want you to fill out the form, use the word soar at checkout. I'm giving you, a discount for that you can invest in yourself. Yeah, I'll give you 20% off, I believe it is. 20% off for you to be a part of the amazing Eagles Academy. Listen, if you're getting this type of information that's just for free, imagine what it's like in the Eagles Academy. Because what I teach in there is not what I teach out here. Yeah, what I teach in there far greater than where I go in here. Go ahead, come on. TheEaglesAcademy.com, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. Use the coupon code, which is SOAR, SOAR. Time for you to spread your wings. If you spread your wings, I guarantee that you're going to win over and over and over again with other people who want to see you win too. A win for you is a win for them too. Not competition, but connection, camaraderie. That's what it's all about. EaglesAcademy.com. Go there. Listen, I've got some other resources for you. Go to theeaglesacademy.com/store. Yeah, theeaglesacademy.com/store. You can get so many things out of there. I've got resources to grow your greatness, bestseller book blueprint. Those of you who want to be an author, you know there's a book that's in you that the world needs, and you know you got to get it out. I've written 16 books. I think I know a thing or two or 16 about how to make your book a reality, how to take your manuscript to the marketplace, how to be an authority as an author, how to increase your sales for those of you who are already authors. TheEaglesAcademy.com/store. You can get that there. What else do I have? Successful speaker strategies. Generally, after you write a book, people are going to ask you to talk about the book. Want to be able to know what you're saying about the book and how to communicate it in a way. Successful speaker strategies. You want to get that. Shows you really the whole aspect of not just communication for presentation, but communication for connection. And if you can communicate to connect, I guarantee you'll be all right when it comes time to present. I've also got a few free resources, such as my bestseller, I would say the More in 2024 ebook. Yeah, More in 2024 ebook, how to become more, how to make it your best year yet. Then I also have the art of communication. Communication is like an art form. What words are you painting when you're speaking? How do you connect to people when you're communicating? Right? Are people able to actually feel you? When you're connecting, are you communicating? How are you doing that? How are you creating sustainable growth from how you're able to express yourself in a way to where people feel connected to the words of what it is that you're saying? You want to get that. Also, I've got some other resources that are there as well. Check out my TED Talk that's there. You can request me as a speaker as well on that website as well, theeaglesacademy.com/store. I'd love to come speak to you, your church, your community center, your conference, your seminar, your workshop, your school, your college, your work, whatever the case may be. eaglesacademy.com/store. I think that's the last thing on that page where you can actually be able to go and invite me to come and speak at your event. Be glad to do that. So many other resources that are there. I encourage you, shop in a place where you can grow your greatness. Go there to theeaglesacademy.com/store. You also see there accessidentity.org/speaker for the successful speaker strategies, as well as the accessidentity.org/author for the bestseller book blueprint. I hope you got something out of this. Hope you got something out of this tonight. Powering you to March 4th. On March 4th and beyond. How could I forget? I got some books out there too. You can get them on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Audible. Not just hard copies. They're also ebooks, and they are also audiobooks as well. Yes, and you can request me as a speaker, as I've already suggested also. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of time, but I'm not out of truth. You want to make sure that you join me tomorrow. And tomorrow might be a kickoff of a new series. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Don't want to tease it too much, but you want to join me tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. I had to do this one today. How could I not? It spoke to me, so I had to speak to you. Out of time, but I'm not a truth. But there's no way I can pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. Know that you are appreciated so, so much. I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me each and every single day of the week, each and every single weekday, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what it is. You know who it is. In the Mix at 6 with yours truly, Dr. Eddie, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop. All the way over to the YouTube side. Come on. YouTube. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yes, I'm talking to you. Yeah, hit the notification bell. Follow me on all the social sites at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. If I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, holla at a brother, let me know, reach out. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. Your main man, 100 grand, your brother from another mother. Family has been fun, but you know a brother got to run. But it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, and brighter. Peace and love. Keep soaring higher.
Hey, it's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. Listen, don't you want to level up in your life? Don't you want to actually dominate this year? You need strategy, you need structure, you need solutions. If you're going to level up in your relationships, you're going to identify your brand identity. If you're going to identify your identity, this is your year to become more. This is your year to do more. I'm telling you, this is the time to grow your greatness. You need to be in a secure environment, in a community that really cares about your growth, that wants to enhance it, wants to push you in a place of not just information, but transformation for your application. I'm telling you, you don't just go as far as your dream, you go as far as your team. Join our team. Become a part of the Eagles Academy. Go right now. The EaglesAcademy.com. When you get there, you have to join our button and become a member of this amazing academy with so many amazing people, locally and globally, who understand that their network determines their net worth. They want to soar into success and purpose. I can't wait to see your face, not just your space. Go right now. The EaglesAcademy.com. Yeah.